Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the TateOnChain podcast. I'm your host, Tate, and today I am welcoming back a longtime friend, DeeJay, one of the co-founders of Lazy Superheroes on Hedera. With great power comes great laziness. And DeeJay, how you doing today?
Pretty lazy. Well, that's what everyone says when they don't see the code magically coming out of my fingertips, but we try.
Most definitely, we sure do. Last time I hosted you, DeeJay, was June 5th of 2022. So over 2 years now. A lot's happened.
That is a long time. There has been one of the most vicious bear markets since. The fact we're still standing, that's pretty impressive.
Indeed it is. If you don't know who DeeJay is by the look of his face, you definitely have utilized one of his tools at least. And that tool that comes to mind in particular, he is the creator of the Discord HCS token gating bot. Is that the best
Yes,
way of
yeah.
putting it?
I think that's the thing that people will know me for,
Most
whether
definitely.
they know it's me or not. Yes, thank you all for the patience as I am sometimes unavailable, but the thing runs pretty smoothly most of the time until people list things and then get confused what they've done or yeah. But apologies, I try and sort it out in my spare time.
I think you do a great job with that, and I think it helps all communities building on Hedera and even beyond really just navigate how to token gate their Discord servers, as Discord communities are one of the key components to most Web3 community ecosystems,
For
I'd
sure.
say, for communication purposes and whatnot.
All right. I mean, that was the genesis of it.
Yeah.
Over at Lazy Superheroes, we realized we needed something to do it. There was one solution that was doing the rounds for a eye-watering price tag, and so I decided I'd come out of dev retirement and build one. So it depends on which side of the table you're on, whether it's free or not. But yeah, yes, for free.
Makes sense. Yeah, I guess I can only interpret it because I'm on one side of the table other than the other. But anyways, all right, DJ, let's get into the details.
Sure.
Let's catch back up on Lazy Superheroes. How have things been? And maybe start out with kind of a brief rundown of what you guys have to offer there.
Okay. So the shortest version of this, Lazy Superheroes is a narrative driven collection of NFTs that form part of a club. NFTs are just one of the medium. We have a published comic book, various alt endings, all sorts of bits and pieces along those sides there. There are a few different collections under the broader umbrella. Storylines, narrative, very much important to us. But we've settled our home as Hedera. We try to be pioneers leveraging the decentralized flavor of Web3 that Hedera has to offer.
Definitely.
Amongst the merch, I'm wearing a work shirt, sadly. Otherwise, I'd be emblazoned with a superhero with some great art these days from Ordinary Guy as our in-house artist there. But it's building the IP, building tooling, helping the ecosystem, standing on the shoulders of others, and trying to help others up, standing on our shoulders. We first and foremost are a club for like-minded individuals. Some of the very early original gangsters of Hedera are there. It's a good crowd that we have going. We have helped, whether it's HTS bot or minting scripts, airdrop scripts, snapshot scripts, all sorts of things from DJ's Coding Corner. We have all of this available for those who wish to learn. We've handheld and done it as consulting work for others who don't wish to learn, which is fine too. We've reviewed code for people. We've built solutions, some of which I can't quite talk about yet because other projects have delayed their announcements for things. But at its heart, Lazy Superheroes has always had a vision as well as the narrative arcs and comic books and stories for the characters. But it's doing Web3 properly. I am a opinionated believer in self-sovereignty and decentralized nature of Web3. So what does that mean? Hopefully those who know me and know my background, it's not that you shouldn't trust me. I think I'm pretty trustworthy. It's that you shouldn't have to trust me. That's
Great point.
and I believe that's at the heart of what Web3 means, that you own your things and you know what you're interacting with. It's not easy though. It's always if those of you who've been around long enough think back to say Zeus. Anyone remembers that marketplace? I still remember that
Barely.
marketplace. Yeah, the original incarnation of that, it was escrow accounts. So you were just sending your NFTs up to the escrow, and that's okay until the team move on and suddenly you're relying on no one else getting access to that escrow account. That ain't pretty. That's not the way it's meant to be done.
Unsafe.
Some of those were limitations of Hedera. Some of them are easier to go that way. It's always going to be easier if you centralize. And hands up, candidly, our vision was ahead of where the network has been. I've learned a lot. Bear markets teach you plenty, right? That the difference between a splashy narrative headline and the truth on the ground is hugely different. I think back to literally year and a half ago, I guess it would have been. Hedera has full EVM compatibility, and it was technically true. I could compile any code and deploy it, but all the glue that's needed to actually do things that I'd be able to do on ETH's side of things just wasn't there.
Makes
We
sense.
have made huge progress. That progress comes at cost. For instance, the infamous security incident that happened on Hedera that saw the relays shut down for a few days while they fixed it. But they re-engineered the security model, which meant large chunks of code that I'd written that were going to go a certain way no longer worked in that way, and I've had to rebuild from scratch. But what's now built, bigger, better, far more productive, and yeah, I've learned a lot on the way through. I've learned a lot through my work on other ecosystems, seeing the bigger picture, and the tooling is ready to be unleashed. I'm just wiring some more of the front end, and we finally have the big bang ready to go. But it's been really painful and really painful for all of our holders, and appreciate all the dedication. We don't want to rush out a rubbish version first.
Sloppy
And
product. Yeah.
yeah, we were one of the first to mint. I wasn't part of the team at the original mint. I was just a collector.
Yeah.
So I got a hold of a number of pieces and built my collection, and I was having a lot of fun. And I forget exactly what happened, and I think it was around the HTS bot. Baptiste said, "Hang on, why don't you come and join and help me with the tokenomics?" And I said, "Sure, yeah, why not? I mean, it can't be that hard, right?" And yeah, I built the bot, worked on tokenomics for the lazy token. So there is a token, lazy. It's a utility token within our ecosystem. You need to use it for anything from you want consultancy services, you want me to write some code for you or do some things, we can take payment in lazy for that. It's a deflationary token by nature. So if someone pays us or enters our farms or goes off and does any interaction really, then they're inside the smart contract calls, it will burn atomically half of those tokens or whatever the ratio is set at. So if I do consultancy work, say you need something for your Discord, then
Yeah.
net, the value I give back goes to all holders. And to generate lazy,
Yeah.
you have to own our tokens and stake them. So anyone, wherever they get it, whether they win a race in our Discord for our hash horses, we have that little, I don't know, you may not have seen it, but not sure if you're a hash horse holder.
I'm
It
not,
was
but I
an
know about the
original,
hash horses.
you know about the hash horses, great.
Yes.
It was an original low cost mint. I think it was a 50 HBAR mint, but the idea, essentially, it was a big raffle prize, right? You got a horse, and there were a couple of prizes at the other end that were quite substantial given the 9,000, I think 8,000, large number of horses. Anyway, the horses were let free. People won raffles. We've actually turned that into a little Discord battler bot. What's the one everyone else uses?
Rumble.
Like the Rumbles, right? The Royal Rumble bot. We have a hash horse racer bot. And because, of course, we put all the infrastructure around the HTS bot and all of that, we know which hash horses you own. So we can pick out one of your hash horses. So if
That's
you're in the lead,
incredible.
you get to see your horse. If you have an ultra rare, then that will be given preference. Again, your named horses up there, and we can track. And so you've got all your positions and results and stats. And for the hardcore 30 to 40 people who turn up for these races, and I love those guys for it, and guys and girls, I'm sure. But yeah, there are prizes, lazy NFTs, etc., etc. But it's just a nice little thing, very thematic and on point for what we're doing. But yeah, so lazy token, you need it to get into things like the farm. The idea is that you take some pieces of lazy ecosystem collateral, you stake them in a smart contract. So decentralized, not to us. Like, it's a smart contract. You're the only one who can take it out. I can't touch it. And actually, it's wildly more complicated than I ever thought it would be, but it makes it a little bit more fun. When you stake it, you can boost that to reduce your time. So you pay lazy, and when you do, that gets burnt. So again, shrinks the overall supply. I should add, sorry, I'm jumping around a little.
Oh,
The token was minted by a smart contract. So the treasury in and of itself a smart contract. So it's very visible at all times. You can see how much lazy is in supply, what's in float versus what's still in the treasury, how much has been burnt. Transparency of what we're doing is at the heart again of decentralization and doing Web3 properly. Yeah, the farms, you get in there with your mix of collateral. There can be all sorts of complicated routes of how you get in. Maybe that's an NFT that you got from farming before, so you can do the whole leveling up to get to the big prizes. You can use the gems collateral in order to reduce your time in the farm based off the type of gem, and also, yeah, so those are reusable, so you get to use them every time you come farming versus a consumable with lazy. It spirals in complexity
so many
to do it
components, and
properly.
I love it. There's so much that we have
Yeah,
yet to get into
well,
it from the
we
previous combo that
yeah,
you
we saw V1
yeah,
before.
you're right.
V2 is now recut and much more beautiful. And the good thing is, and I hope back to the idea of helping the broader community, if others want to use our infrastructure, because this is how we believe staking should be done for rewards, there's no reason we cannot come to agreements. Again, project gives us some lazy, helps our holders, maybe with reciprocal benefits, and then we can add farms for their users, or combination ones. So it needs some piece from 2 or 3, 4 different projects across the ecosystem to get prizes out the other. And it's
Most
all visible. Everyone can see it. You can see the timeline. You know that when you go into the farm, and this is something I've made this way, but when you go in, the collateral you can win from farming is in there. So you don't have to wait
wow.
for the team to tell you, oh yeah, okay, you got it here. Let me send it to you.
Yeah,
What if I'm on holiday? You want it. Like,
most
you shouldn't
definitely.
have to wait for me. Like, click button, done. Out it all comes.
Great
And
point.
there was, until Hedera version V051, for those who are keeping track, I think we're on 052 right now, maybe 053 in testnet. So until fairly recently, we're talking July, I think it was the release. There was a network limitation that stopped us doing this generically for any NFT. That is now resolved.
Nice.
That's a beautiful thing. I have been waiting for this for 12 months. I knew it was coming for 12 months. The team have been doing some great work on fixing other technical debt, as in Hedera core team. And we kept planning to release it, but without this bit of a feature, and things happened. But thankfully, that means we are now ready to go with it fully blown, right? So this is now the full fat version. Um, Spiraling into more technical
DJ,
details,
you're
of course.
incredible. I got a couple of things I'd love to mention as well
Okay,
that you've
go.
been mentioning. I think you're a
Well,
very
yeah,
technical
yeah,
person and I love it. And some things that I've noticed based off of how you speak
sure.
is you're able to get into the deep nitty-gritty components of all the technical aspects, but you're also able to dumb it back down for the regular day and age user who just wants to use it for what it is and explain it in simpler terms to help everybody understand all
Thank you.
components of
I
anything. And
hope
so I
so.
really appreciate that because it's helped me, it's helped plenty of people I know really understand what you do and all of the different types of services and value components you not only provide for lazy superheroes, but the rest of the Hedera ecosystem. It's
Yes.
incredible. I'm curious to know what is the supply of the lazy token by chance?
So that it. Let me show you. That's always
And
the
then while you're
the
looking that one up, so every time somebody transacts with the lazy token, regardless of the amount, a portion of it gets burnt. Is that
so it's not embedded within the token as
gotcha?
such.
More of a
It is as you go into our ecosystem. So as you touch
gotcha.
any of our contracts, it goes there because it's underlying. It is an HTS token.
Yeah.
It isn't anything particularly different. So hold on, let
So
me
anytime
see.
you
Can I
engage
share my
with any of your key components on lazy
contracts? Yeah. So
superheroes, yeah,
we can choose them to be zero burn, but in general, so when do we say zero burn? We say zero burn when you're getting your rewards from staking, because I don't want a piece of that. But if
yeah.
you're coming in and paying a fee, then there should surely be a burn. Let me see if I can do this.
While you're looking for
Where
that, we have
there's the
lazy's
share?
superhero Gen 1, Gen 2, you have the pets, What else am I
Yeah.
missing? You have the hash
The
horses.
the hash horses are a thing, so hopefully you can see that and
Nice.
not any
Yes,
of my
we
work
can.
screens. Yeah. So you can see up here are I haven't got my wallet connected. Do I have? I had to reinstall my machine pretty
Oh,
recently,
good.
last week, so that is less ideal, but let's see what we can get here. We've actually just upgraded the D app, so
I
everything
know.
looks
I actually,
a lot
if you
shiny.
missed it, I did a complete review on a handful of
Oh,
Hedera HBAR NFT projects
okay.
probably about 2 weeks ago, and I believe I rated Lazy Superheroes an S tier project
Ooh,
because of
what's
this
that?
upgraded D app, and I saw a lot more engagement. I remember
Okay,
rating Lazy Superheroes closer to a B tier project in the past, probably like 6 months
okay,
ago, just because I saw a little bit of lack of engagement on X. It might have just been a dry couple months,
sure,
which makes sense. We're in a bear market. It makes sense. You see it all the time. But based
sure,
off of
yeah,
upgrading the D app and all the other
yeah.
features that I've seen that I didn't see in the past, I had to give you guys an S tier. And it just goes to
So
show there's so much work that's been done.
oh, there's a huge amount, but
Yeah.
so anyway, here is our circulating supply right now. 250 is our total size. In the staking itself, if you're logged in, you'd see a lot more shiny things, but for some reason, Hashback is not behaving. But I haven't used it really on this machine, so I have to apologize
Oh, no, it's
for
okay.
that. At the moment, what's live, we have the pools, which we're doing for a few projects, so Zero and also for Cantor over at Tierbot. We've done the same architecture that we have for Lazy, different configuration, but broadly the same idea, smart contract treasury. It's dripped out into the community at a very set pace. So again, there's no trust of Cantor and the team. He's a lovely guy, met him in person, can trust him in my view, but you shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
So that's the same idea through the pools. You can burn and swap the LSH Gen 2. If you haven't seen the art upgrade, definitely check it out. Yeah,
Beautiful. I love
the
it.
old art to the new art is a fantastic
Oh, so there's a Gen
piece.
2.5 as well.
That's what we're calling
Gotcha.
it. Hang on, let me see if I can do a different share. Here we go. Let's try this.
While you're sharing
There.
that, what are some of the key components to keep the community
So
engaged, DJ?
yeah, so here we go. Hang on. So obviously it's a multi piece. So I think we can all agree. Here is the old art. Here is the new art. So
So that was the one you just showed me. The old one was Gen 1, right?
that's the original Gen 2. It's now
Gotcha,
been
Gen 2.
upgraded. So 2.5. So this is ordinary guys artwork. Definitely an improvement, but also an Easter egg in case anyone doesn't know. Of those that are in float, they all have the original art inside them, whereas the ones which were never in float because they didn't get minted, we closed the mint off pretty early when it turned to a bear market because we did not want to be a vampire on the
Yeah.
community's liquidity. And those ones will not have the original art. So if you get a hold of one with an original art, that means you're in a much more exclusive bunch out there.
Now you
So
know.
there you go. That's the thing to know. What do we try and do for the community?
To keep
Firstly,
them engaged. Obviously, you have your
keeping them
lazy
engaged.
token that
Lazy
they stake.
token, the staking is about to hit at home. So the staking, you will be able to take. Oh, and I don't know if I can. I'm gonna. This is wild because I have a live dev window open and I am trying to
Hide
fix
it.
something. But this is the plumbing that I'm talking about. But if I can get that to spin up, I will show you what that might look like in a second over on testnet. So staking, if you go to our white paper, lazysuperheroes.com webpage, white paper, there's a lot of details on there about all the different milestones that we have delivered through time. Some that are still to go, hands up, all of the excuses I gave earlier, but some of them are very real and good value, mainly because what we now have is so much better than we ever thought we'd be able to deliver and ready for the next cycle, which I am adamant will come. We aren't at a cycle just yet. Here we go. Yeah, it will look a bit like this, but ignore. This is a testnet app, so do ignore my random art. No, wrong one. Closing that one down. Why? Live
Talking about
demos.
testnet though, while you're trying to pop up
Yeah.
that tab
Okay.
in
Here.
particular. Okay, let's get it.
Yeah. So testnet, you'll be able to pick your. These are obviously old
Very
ones. Tick here and different rewards depending on what you've got, and then there will be a boost tab here. And if you put all of the boosts together, it will get you a higher rate and all those sorts of things, and that will then allow you to come back up here, and you'll be able to see what your claimable rewards are and how many you have staked. But there's more. If you'll give me the moment here, when we
stepping in.
are, yeah, there's our white paper, docs.lazysuperhero.com white paper. There is a lot in here about the token, about the burn mechanics, our supply, our token. We want everyone to know exactly how it's all working, what all the different parts are, how all the scripts fit together, the comic books. You can go and read them. Definitely check it all out.
All
Okay,
of it will be
so
linked below.
awesome. When you're staking, you're putting your NFTs into a decentralized smart contracts in Hedera EVM. That's great because only you can get it out.
Mhm.
But for instance, the HTS bot doesn't know they're yours anymore because they're in there.
They're
Or
the
let's say anyone who's ever used on ETH delegate.cash. I don't know if you
No.
used that or an
Nope.
equivalent.
I'm not an ETH maxi.
Nah, you don't have to be a maxi, just
I
hang
know.
around, right? But
I
if you want to be safe interacting with smart contracts, because that's the big fear, right? It's always, oh, smart contracts. And on that, we commit always to sharing our source code. It's always validated and verified. If you didn't know, how that all works, like it's super important to us that everyone knows what they're interacting with. But you're, sorry, where am I going? Yes, if you want to be safe, one of the best ways to be safe is to use a burner wallet for minting, because you don't necessarily want to expose your wallet just in case you click on something, you don't realize what's going on.
Yeah.
On ETH, and I'm sure others, but ETH definitely, there is a tool called delegate.cash. What that allows you to do is literally delegate, this wallet will act on my behalf. And then with 3 lines of code, any minting platform can insert that and use this shared community resource to check back and say, this wallet is meant to act as if it's this other wallet. And therefore, I can now check the NFTs it owns versus the whitelist or anything like that. So now we can do a
Disguise your
whitelist
wallet.
mint. Yes. Or you can at least not execute with your wallet that owns all the NFTs that you're a bit worried about.
I
And
see.
maybe you're not worried at all, but like within reason, maybe deep down nothing can happen. But it's just good, clean safety. If I've got a wallet with 100 HBAR and another one with a million HBAR,
Yeah.
aren't I lucky? Right? I can mint with the one with 100 HBAR because I know I can't lose more than that.
Most
So
definitely.
using the same technique, I've developed and deployed now an equivalent. We call it the lazy delegate registry as opposed to delegate.cash because that's a trademark name taken. But does the same thing. You can, I can assign you the utility benefits of one of my lazy tokens, for instance, one of my LSH, without actually having to give it to you. And then you can go and use that in our secure trade tool, for instance, which I
I was about
will
to mention
show.
that. Yep.
Yes, a secure trade tool. Now that is
This
something
is
that I am
quite
very,
incredible, and I think everybody's gonna love this one that DeeJay is about to dive
yeah,
into.
this one should definitely go live. Let me see if I can just show
So
you
let me explain
this.
secure trade for anybody who out there and they don't necessarily know what this is. So pretty much, I'm not the smartest person to explain it, but pretty much you have a string of one code, or I guess a key that you can send pretty much anything inside of it. I think it's a maximum of 10 NFTs at once, unlimited amounts of HBAR, HTS tokens. You send it to whoever you're trying to send that stuff to in particular, and they have 30 minutes as of now to be able to copy the secure trade link into their hash pack to acquire what's in that link. Is that
Or
right?
Kabila, right?
Yeah.
There's more than one.
Oh, you're right.
So other wallets have it, and that's because actually whatever they call it, secure trade or whatever name they have, underlying it is a Hedera scheduled transaction. So
Gotcha.
that's where the 30-minute limitation comes from. So anyone who's hung around in Hedera and read any of the details probably remembers that Hedera uses timestamps to ensure fair ordering of transactions. That the order they came in is the order they get executed by consensus. That's hard to hold stable over a long period of time. The devs are working on it. They want to extend not secure trade, the scheduled transaction to be up to a year. But I know it's caused some challenges so
Sure.
far. I'm sure they will get there. It's not their top priority
Is it because
ultimately.
there'd be a potential backlog of
Yeah,
unsecured trades that have yet to go through?
it's partly balancing cost and benefit. Like
Gotcha.
you have to check the consensus it's still valid at the point of execution, and if things have moved and holding that state for that length of time, it
Okay.
means it's holding a lot more. In order to be so fast and hold so much state, it can get polluted. If everyone were to try and attack and just set up a whole load of spurious transactions, it would make it hard to keep it as performant and do that. So I think that's where this is my layman's take, right? But that's where the
Sure,
balance
sure.
comes. Yeah, it's not Hashback put a 30-minute or Kabila wallet put a 30-minute stopper on it. It's a network piece.
Makes sense.
And
Okay.
you're good on the 10. There can be 10 elements of a transaction. Each element is either an NFT or a fungible token or
Okay.
HBAR.
So,
So if I'm sending you NFTs, I can send you 8 because there's a HBAR one way, HBAR the other way. That's 2, and 8
yeah.
NFTs makes 10. You
I'm
are
learning.
absolutely on the right path, and I'm just giving you the why behind
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 30 minutes, and that is a pain. I've done hundreds of these things, right? And even between your own wallets, right? It's a real pain to do sometimes. But we have allowances, we have smart contracts, and after V51, 0.51, we now have the tooling that allows me to move generic NFTs around the place, which means we can now do secure trade, what I'd call the better way or the more formal way. So let's see. It isn't the prettiest because I threw this together with Baptiste for
Yeah.
the hackathon, and we only decided to do this 3 days out from the hackathon finishing. So we had to go a little quickly. Anyway, all right. So I must have it ready for testnet. Okay. I'm just gonna click on over here. So this is what it looks like. Not very exciting. Here I've got a testnet wallet, but I'm going to create a new trade. And so let's say it's 24 HBAR. And if you're just doing it like secure trade, but you just don't want any time constraint on it, here I can say I'll send it to one of my specific accounts. So this is so far so much a trade, a secure trade. Clearly, it's a lazy trade. So if you want to pay in lazy, you can pay in lazy. But
Nice.
yeah, little things for our recipient, or our holders, or our community here. You can put a date on it if you want it to only be valid up to a
Wow.
certain time. That's your choice. But so here we go. Yeah, image loading. I'm still working on making this faster. But so here we go. That's what we want. And I don't know if you can, you won't see it. It's popped up an allowance for me to set
Gotcha.
and execute the smart contract. So I set an allowance to this shared smart contract here. And if we then go to my dashboard here, you can see I've set this up for this particular recipient. So if anyone else wants to buy it, they can't. So for 24 HBAR, this is available. I can then take the copied link and hopefully, let's have a look. Too many tabs.
You'll share that
on my
copy link with
screen.
them, right?
Yes. So yeah, that's the copied link, and here it'll be. You can see it, and it's locked for this person. As you see, it knows that I'm the seller of this trade. I can't execute my own trade. But let's go to the fancier version of this. So I'm going to let's see. This should override it. I've got one active trade. If this user, that's the other part. If you mentioned about the long string, which is a base 64 encoded string of the transaction hash that you're trying to sign. If you don't know what that string is, it's hard for you to go and find out ones that you've got pending. Fair problem. It isn't here. If I am this user, let's disconnect us. Let's just try and connect here. I had that test account set up. 2119, I think I said. So here I'm now connected as this other wallet, and
Yep.
I know all of the trades that are available for me. So if people are sending me trades left and center, I can go through here and say, yeah, I want that one. I want that one. I don't want that one. And and I can cancel it if I don't want it. But let me just flip back because I want to show you the other feature, which is the real fun part of what we can now do. It's not fully finished, obviously.
This is a
because
part
there's
of
ideas.
the entire lazy
Yeah,
DM.
so this is the bit that is really important. So if I
Wow.
wanted to say, actually, I'm going to sell this NFT to anyone. So it's a public trade. And of course, I'm now going to find out that I don't have enough lazy tokens. Ha! That is.
So you can basically put it out there on the market for anybody who's on the lazy trade to potentially acquire for that
Yeah,
price.
exactly. So we
Wow.
now have a decentralized marketplace,
Wow.
effectively.
No
So
royalties or anything attached, or
no,
royalties attached?
we are creators, so we don't want to upset anyone. Royalties are embedded within the NFT. The
Makes
network
sense.
pays the full royalties. At that price, it's available, but you can list them wherever you like in a Discord, whatever. Anyone can click the link, come and execute the trade, and away they go. Yeah, that's it. That's the
That's
idea.
incredible. 10 times
No
better than
time
secure trade.
constraints. And yeah, we will, once we've got the image stuff working
Yeah.
better, because I'm trying to get it into IPFS and make it smooth. That's why it's not live on test mainnet yet. As soon as it is, the code behind smart contracts all done. Everything's beautiful. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yes, the fancy bits do it.
I'm gonna applaud you
Why?
on that one, DJ. That's well deserved. That's an incredible accomplishment, and it's gonna help the entire ecosystem immensely.
Yeah, no,
The
we're
project
big fans
founders,
of that. Yes,
projects, that's a big help.
yeah, so we think people, if you, let's say you've got prizes to give out, you want to give
Yeah,
out an NFT, right? And you know someone's winner, they're giving you the wallet, but you used to have to wait to be online at the same half an hour slot to
exact
be able
same
to hand it
time. Yep.
over, right? So instead, you just come in here, tap in their wallet, zero costs, bang, and away they go. It will
Or
cost
set a
them one
date.
tiny bar. Yeah, or as long as they claim it within the next 2 weeks. And if they
Yeah.
don't, then it expires. I'm like, okay, and then if you have open ones, obviously you could list them for sale. If this is available for not linked to another marketplace, but you can just come in here, click on it, execute, and off you go.
Yeah.
But as noted there, what we're doing, certainly this is the V1 contract. There'll be more complicated things because we want to have the ability to do like standing orders, standing bids, standing
Gotcha.
offers. We can do all of that stuff. That's, we got it together for the hackathon, which is about getting it out the door
Yeah.
as opposed to anything else. But yeah, for now, with the V1 contract, you'll either need to have lazy tokens to to pay in order to access the open marketplace, or own an LSH Gen 2, 2.5,
Nice.
or Gen 1, and then those advanced trades will be free. So there's your alpha. If you think that tool is useful for you and you don't yet own an LSH Gen 2, 2.5, on cheap, probably worth doing, because
Definitely
that's a
valuable.
cool
Not
feature.
financial advice.
Not financial advice, nothing I ever say is, but that is a
Good.
feature that we'll be rolling out. That will come once I sort out the graphics piece, so that, because everyone loves to see the thing that they're clicking on, right? So we're just working on making that smooth. The delegate, so that you'll be able to delegate your wallet mint with a clean one, and or when you're staking, you'll still get benefit. So that's closing the loop here. I've put my lazy superhero into staking because I want to earn lazy.
Yeah.
And the clue's in the name, lazy. If you don't touch it, you start to get bonuses through time. So after a month, after 2 months, three
Limited
months, it
lazy.
starts to ramp up. All more lazy, the better.
Yeah.
But I still want to use the lazy secure trade contract, but I've put my my token, my NFT, into the contract for staking. Through the delegate registry, it checks that, oh, actually, I know about you and it's been delegated back to you by the staking contract. Therefore, it's good user experience. You don't have to
That's
own
a true
two, one in
smart
there.
contract.
There you go. Yeah, hero week. Yes, we're trying to think of all of these pieces and how to put them together thoughtfully, so that you're not, yeah, you have a good experience, a smooth experience in a trustless manner, or at least very trust minimized. I'll show one last thing.
Yeah, my
Here,
last
hold on.
question for you, DJ, simply would be is there anything else besides what you've already mentioned that holders, community members, anybody interested in lazy superheroes can look forward to within the months and years to come?
Sure. Okay. So before I get to that, this is just to prove the point.
Definitely.
Here is the source code behind the smart contracts. We make it all available, visible to do. One of the great benefits of hopefully a well-designed set of smart contracts is when you see the app, like I showed off before, that's just skin over the top. If you actually want, you can come here and direct on hash scan. You can pick your,
All your
gonna,
wallets?
it's not gonna, I don't know if it's gonna go. You can pick one of your wallets. Oh no, it is gonna go. Okay, awesome. So just to show you the trick, if you didn't know, here I'm now connected via Wallet Connect, because Wallet Connect is awesome. Now we have it, and I can come and interact with the smart contract directly here. I can call a method, and I can put in the trade ID that we created. Oh, I've shut it down. But yeah, I can put that in here and hit run, and I'd be able to get all the trade details live. You don't have to use our D app if you don't want to. I think our D app's a lot prettier than doing it here. This is painful. But by the same token, if someone says, actually, I really love their tool and their smart contract, but I don't like the way it looks, they can build their own D app
Great
and
point.
skin it over the top. If the gang over at Centex, if they want to include it and aggregate it up and show it in their listings, they can, because everything's shared and public and transparent. That's the path and future that I want to get to, where It's not you're not asking me to make sure I expose an API to you. It's all visible.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get
Transparency is
the
key.
joke. So what else is there to come? There are a few different projects. There are some there's a few which are contingent on network changes, which are coming, I hope,
Sure.
but aren't there just yet. So I'll leave that off for now. But I would say to anyone who's interested, check it out, check the white paper, come ask questions. If you want to talk more on it, have ideas of tooling that we could do that would make the world better for the whole community. So, for instance, a DAO, smart contract based tool, so that you can vote with your NFTs, and if you transfer it to someone else and they vote, then it just writes over the vote. We avoid all this nonsense where people try and move them around. And I see it from the
Duplicate
XTS
votes.
bot occasionally, right?
Yeah.
They try and get in with an NFT to a token gated vote, and then go to an alt account and move the token across, and then come back and vote twice. It's a bit painful right now to do that, so not
Yeah.
many people do it, but I've caught a few people trying to do it.
Wow.
Let's actually move this so it's all visible, and we have DAO votes, and we do them on chain with transparency. I think that would be a cool thing for the
Have you looked
ecosystem.
into H Suite at all?
We have a little around the edges. I
Yeah.
know they've gone a very different way of achieving it, and
Yeah, I'm
that's
not sure
awesome
what their
for them.
structure is, but I know they had a DAO structure and a
Yes.
DAO section where
Yeah.
communities have
No,
set those up.
they've gone with a smart contract-less design, which is a solid ideological point. I think I will revert to my usual phrase, which is Web3 is about choices, make good ones. I support more people doing more things. I have zero beef with anyone if they choose to go one way or another. If Cantor and the gang are exploring hashionals, I think that's awesome that they're finding new ways
Yeah.
to do things. And if it excites people, that is brilliant as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. But it's my passion is trying to make it obvious to the folks coming over from EVM environments that we have decentralized tooling and you can make stuff work well on Hedera. And with the fixed cost nature of it, you can hit scale. When I talk in my day job, and a lot of projects that need to push through a lot of transactions, and they're trying to think, which layer 2 on Ethereum do I want to be on, or do I spin up my own? I'm like, why don't you just port your code over here and I can guarantee you how much it will cost? Like, what? Really? Always people are surprised that that
So
scaling
unreal.
solution
And
works.
it's like the people who are against Hedera have no real reason of being against it besides thinking it's centralized.
Yeah, which is it's a path to decentralization. It's
Yeah.
already a lot further than many are, and they will complete the task. And people getting het up over ideological challenges is a bit of a shame. I'm a huge believer in a couple of things. One is chain abstraction. And what I mean by that is really, to my second point, user experience. The
Yeah.
user shouldn't have to care about all these things. Like if I want to get your wallet and you to sign things, but I don't want you to have to go and buy gas, HBAR to pay gas, etc. I can abstract everything away from you, but it's still your keys. It's not like some of these solutions you see out there, which I just own your wallet and I sign on your behalf
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
just don't have custody. But no, it's your wallet, but Hedera has native abstraction. So I can pay for your token association costs. I can execute a smart contract on your behalf. That's a little bit trickier. It's not purest of
But it's
abstractions, but
possible.
yeah, but you can architect in a way to achieve these things such the user is still signing and they're still in control, and all
Mhm.
the assets are in control and in their wallet that I can't touch as the project side. But I've abstracted it away. They don't need to know whether they're on Hedera or not. Eventually, hopefully, they find out and go, wow, that's pretty cool. I'll go and buy some of that. But the barrier to bring the next billion users to Web3 is that they don't all want to have to go and buy gas for 38 different tokens on 38 different chains just to
Great
do
point.
stuff. Right?
Yeah.
They just want to use it and have a great experience and go, wow, I love this art. I love this story arc. And I'm getting this stuff and I can use this stuff in other things that are coming. For instance, like raffles, lotto tickets, etc., all smart
Tokenomics.
contract based, random stuff on chain, etc. You know, we're not building yet another gambling set of smart contracts, hasten to add, but within the ecosystem, there are things and prizes that you can get, and whether they're instant payout or transferable or the like. And so when that's complete, and there's a big, thought I'd have it to hand. I have this long document with all the different pieces that I'm trying to build out. But as I find so many times, I have one idea and then I'm like, oh, hang on. I want to build this infrastructure, and it's really important I get that right before I deploy the next
Makes sense.
piece. Maybe it's a lazy pass that you can get a discount on if you own a lazy superhero, but others can buy as a consumable that then gets you better luck in the roles, or
Yeah.
gets you free usage of the lazy secure trade tool, for instance. So there's a consumable way, and then we have the fun game of balancing the economics of the faucets of what are delivering the tokens and the sinks. Yeah, I think our staking tool, again, it's, if I simplify it, like you put tokens in, you get lazy tokens out. Like, it's not crazy hard,
All right.
but
Very self-explanatory.
at the same time, like the boost mechanic as we have it, there will be ways to say, maybe at Halloween, if you stake a dead pixel alongside, you get a boost to your staking rewards. So we can bring communities together, and maybe the
Genius.
dead pixel guys want to do something similar, and we can roll out the architecture and make more people have access to these facilities and gamify that inside itself, in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we think that there's lots of fertile ground to get people just interested in playing with the tech and seeing how cool it can be, and hopefully rebuild these communities, which are bear market, right? It's ups and downs, right? People are
Waves.
less excited, but we haven't minted anything in a long time because we think that's the right answer.
Yeah.
I've not personally, I come onto the team. We haven't minted stuff. I'm not here for the money. Hands up. I've dipped into my pocket and funded lots of parts to this. And as is Baptiste, we just believe that this is a great project, great IP, and that Hedera is a cool ecosystem. Not everyone's as bought into it as I'd like them to be. We're
Not
steady and
yet.
growing. Not
Not
yet,
yet.
but when they arrive, I want them to find all this cool stuff that's deployed and go, hang on a minute, why aren't I seeing this elsewhere? And then we roll it out for others. So yeah, that's the
Thank you. Thank you for everything, DJ.
deep
You
breath.
crushed it, man. I
Thank you. Too
appreciate it
kind.
all. There's tons to look forward to. Tons
For
of
sure.
great things already happening. You're continuing to provide, and it doesn't seem like the train's stopping anytime soon. The IP, like you said, for super lazy superheroes, my apologies, is quite incredible. I love the art, love everything that you guys have to do, and I only know for a fact that you'll continue to innovate this space.
We
So with
will
that being
try.
said, DJ, thank you once again. And if there's any closing thoughts, feel free to drop them now.
Thanks for having me. Thanks to all of our community members who stuck with us. Again, we have had some from the very beginning, that
Yeah,
very first mint that I remember being part of on the other side of the table. I get that it's always tougher when you're waiting for the bathroom outside the bathroom. It's always like a different time feeling on which side of the door you are. I can assure you it's not from a lack of desire to get this out into your hands, but we want it to be right, because
of course.
this is really important. If we get it
Perfectionism.
wrong, and like bugs in code, no good, no
Yeah,
bueno. We have to get this right, and that's, yeah. You'll see us. I'm sure you'll see us with more collabs with others, not in a minting NFTs type stuff, but like collabs where partnerships to do things together and help bring the space forward. We're here for the long haul. Stay
let's
safe.
grow. Let's grow. DJ, thank you
Let's
once
do it.
again. And ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's podcast with the one and only Lazy Superheroes, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all in the next episode. Peace.
Ready to transform your learning experience? Step into the future with the Learn to Earn platform on Hedera. Choose how you learn. Academic books in hard copy or NFT form. That's right, NFTs. Whether you prefer the traditional feel or a digital interactive journey, the choice is yours. Dive into the NFT, not just for the book, but for all the tools you need for success. Download the book, access tests, all within a seamless, immersive interface. Forget traditional logins. Simply scan the QR code, connect to our platform, and start your Learn to Earn journey. Pass your tests and watch your success turn into real rewards with Gcoin, our exclusive digital currency. Imagine learning at your own pace, acing exams, and reaping tangible benefits. It's not just education, it's a transformative journey towards success. Join the future of learning at gilmore-estates.net. Scan, learn, earn. It's that simple, and it's revolutionary.